Chef Checks. It's me, Maya Chef Check. You've run out of your sorting grenades glow-in-the-dark paint color again, didn't you? Because I've run out of 2 of these and now I have an empty bottle. Well, 2 empty bottles. Well, today's the day because maybe that's a reason why you clicked on this video. You want to know what to do with it. I'm making a new doll house called the Glinty Minty Lilac, and I'm making a hat version of Astrid Fizz with this doll and body. Okay, so now let me show you how to make a hat doll using the sorting grenades. Empty bottle of glow-in-the-dark paint. Step 1. If the doll has hair, remove it by starting by cutting it as short as possible and even removing the plugs of the hair that are still inside. But for that we will have to remove the head. But first of all, let's just cut that hair off as short as possible because we won't need it. And if you don't want the doll to be bald forever, then you can always add new hair after that during the process. So sorry, but I have to cut all your hair off, little doll, because you're about to become a hat version of Astrid Fizz, and the hat would work better if I remove that hair. So that's why I'm removing it. I'm not going to take off the head, so I'm trying to cut it as short as humanely possible. I did have to remove the hair because it wouldn't work without the removal of hair, so I'm not going to use that hair. But I could salvage the longer parts of it. Once the doll hair has been removed, we're going to get some glue inside the head of the doll. I've run out of that glue, and I do have more, but this bottle I really don't want to waste, so I'm using it. But the step is glue the bottle onto the doll's head because we'll be putting it on her head, or whatever you're making, you're putting it on the head. After the removal of the doll hair that your mini doll came with, so I will get the glue inside like this. I did it with a paintbrush, but if you do that on a paintbrush, wash it after. So you're not going to risk it drying on the brush, but you do want it to dry on the head, so we put it on the doll's head like this. And there's another step. Third step is to paint the doll, either the body or the face you want. In step 3 would be the time when you paint anything on the doll's body. It's before you even add the hair if you want to add hair to your doll. So that's what I do in step 3 of making the doll. So that's step 3. Everything dried. I gave her a pastel pink dress with flowers and white sleeves, and her lipstick glows in the dark as well as the hat. But I tried to, with the hat, to keep the glow in the dark. It still kind of glows in the dark, but because I took all the paint out for the Linty Minty Lilac dollhouse, because I was painting it, it doesn't glow as much, but it still glows. I just have a lot of multiple tubes of glow-in-the-dark paints that I can use with the same color. But anyways, time for the next step. The fourth step. Glue on the hair that you want to add with the unraveled wool. Unraveled wool would work really well for hair, especially if you want curly hair. Some people straighten it with a straightener, but I'm not going to do that. You can use frayed up ribbons for straighter hair if you want straight hair. That's what worked for me without having to have cut tools with me for hair. Just use frayed satin ribbons for straight hair and wool for curly hair. Trust me. So I'm also with the hair starting with doing the front of her head. First, before adding the back hair of the doll that you want to make a hat version out of. The hat will not be removable, but I'm still teaching you how to do this. If you run out of these glow-in-the-dark paints that you may have, but you're left with an empty bottle and you don't know what to do, this video is meant to remedy that. So I'm also to the blue here going to add some lilac-y hair to the hair color blend. It's still ostrich fizz, but it's also suitable to give her some lilac for the glinty minty lilac doll house version of the doll. So that's why I'm doing it. But yet I'm still thinking about what to put on the back of her head with hair, what hairstyle. But that's why I tend to do the front hair first before doing the hair in the back of the doll, because anything really goes with me thinking of what hair will look in the front, because I have a distinguishable style of front hair for my characters, and that's what I tend to go first for hairstyle wise. So that's what I do. I forgot to let the lipstick dry on ostrich fizz. Let me retouch it. Once the front hair has dried, the next step is to do the back hair of your doll. So let's set her here, and we're going to add some glue in the back of her head to give her the rest of it. So I added some glue to the back of the head, and now let's glue that hair on to that area, and make sure you have enough to fill all the areas you want to be filled up with hair. And if it's too long, you can cut it and use that for other parts of it. So there we go. Now we need the back hair to dry before we can do any hairstyle with it. This one is an optional step, but I choose it. Style your doll's hair. You can do whatever you want, but for mine I'm choosing to do 2 braids for my Astrid Fizz doll. But I add this step in anyways because I want to enforce that it is important. If you do plan to do any hairstyling, do it after the hair that you've added to the bow front and back is added in. This is so the hair does not get messed up in your hair placement because you place the hair under the hat, and yet the hair placement is whatever hair is sticking out of your doll. This is optional because you can either choose to hide the hair completely in the hat or have the hair stick out. It's up to you. But I chose to have Astrid Fizz here on display because first of all it would look better. Second of all, it's not up to Astrid Fizz, and the hair of Astrid Fizz, if it's showing, that is her characteristic feature that I want to have exposed in the doll. And the 2 blue braids are her feature that everybody knows her for if they know her, so I'm keeping that. And Astrid Fizz would look better with her hair exposed from the hat anyways. So you can choose if you want to expose your character's hair or not. But if you do, before doing the hairstyle, you may want to start with the front hair, then put some back hair on the doll while you're adding the hair, and then after that you may want to style it. But please, before sticking on any hair, please consider what your hairstyle will be. The reason why I did the front first is because I didn't fully think out the back of her hairstyle, so I just put in long hair, and then after I decided on the long hair, I'm going to do those 2 braids at the back. And I did it right after I settled on it because your front hair drying time is best used for thinking of the back hair, as well as how it's going to be styled and how it's going to look. And yet if you do certain hair colors, that's your thing to consider when choosing your ribbon or your wool for the hair. So those are things to consider. And I'm adding a lot of flower sequins. That is also optional, but because it's for the Glinty Minty Lilac doll house, I choose to put it in her hair for decorations. But I want to style the hair before decorating the hat because I think it would work better like this. The final step, decorate your hat. It's the final step because if you didn't do all the other steps that you are supposed to do, then it should always be before decorating the hat. So I've made this ruffle for the hat. And now I'm going to glue it as the brim of the hat into the head. So I'm just gluing it right at the bottom of it. And now it actually looks like a hat. This would be whatever you want to do with yours, but for mine I'm going to decorate further. It is going to be very elaborate how I want to decorate mine, but if it's yours, your decorations are all up to you. You want to decorate it like. But that's always that part that always should be at the end of the process. As a reward for doing all the first parts first. Once the hat is decorated, you're all done. Although decorating is optional, but I choose to do it. Let's see how I've decorated. So there's a house that is covered in lilac flowers, a ruffle for the brim of the hat, and there's a little fluffy wolf coming out of it as a decoration. I tried a capybara, but this wool didn't look like a capybara enough with the beads, so wolf it is. And there's also some birds, and that's a door. There's the scarlet mako and the carnidal on that side. So that's how I've decorated mine. You can decorate yours however you want. It's up to you. And thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more videos if you like my videos. And bye, Chef Tex. See you in another video. Bye.